Another day, another video. I see this shirt is making quite a red hue on my face. Excuse that. In addition to a red shaded lamp that I have here, it really makes my... I think that's a bit better. I'm not feeling hot or anything. Right. Okay, so and I promised you that I would be covering something, introducing you to something, and I'd be setting right. Unfortunately, that's going to have to wait because John's told me that this episode needs to be about my favorite YouTube channels and why I like them. So that's what I'm going to have to do. First off, I've followed YouTube from the beginning. When it first started, even though I was on a dial-up connection then, and then I had to stop watching for a while because my dial-up connection couldn't keep up. The very first channels, the very first videos, on YouTube were quite low quality and you could still watch them on a dial-up connection. But very quickly as YouTube became popular, the videos became of higher quality and I couldn't watch them anymore on a dial-up connection. So for a while I couldn't watch YouTube anymore, maybe a year. And then when I got my broadband connection, I started watching again. I still remember many of today's big channels. I still remember seeing them back in the day before they were popular. Although I didn't follow them then, like I don't follow them now. But I still remember it. For example, one example would be Philip DeFranco, and back in the day I remember the episode that I watched where his channel was called SXE Phil, and he was this kid with glasses sitting in his home, in his lounge, I guess it looked like. We had a big staircase behind him, and he was covering just showbiz news, music news, gossip, those kind of things. Right, to the kinds of videos that I do follow, channels that I do follow, I don't follow any sort of gossip channels or children's entertainment channels or those kind of things. I do follow channels that are educational regarding the subjects that I'm interested in at the moment. I'm into filmmaking, into film editing, as I've mentioned already. So my favorite channels are probably very useful to you as well if you're interested in editing. If you'd like to do editing for your YouTube channel, learn editing. First of all, the channel that the software that I recommend is called DaVinci Resolve. It's very powerful software and it's for free. That's what I use. And the channel that I follow to learn that, or I don't do as much anymore because I know mostly everything there is to know about the software. But if you're learning, I recommend Goat's Eye View. It's three words, Goat's Eye View. That's the channel name. And if you search on YouTube, Goat's Eye View DaVinci Resolve, you'll find a wonderful lady that's very talented with teaching DaVinci Resolve, video editing. Highly recommended. I learned a great deal of what I know about it from her. Another channel I follow is, a space weather news channel. Now, these are all very small channels. I don't follow any big famous channels. Like this one that I just said, it's called Nemesis Maturity. And it's a channel that features space weather or sun weather. It shows when there's sunspots on the sun, when there's geomagnetic storms coming in, when there's comets flying close by the Earth and those kind of things. I have a particular interest in that for good reason, but those are things that I'll cover when we start exploring things from the vault. Lastly, the sort of more entertainment-oriented channel is a small channel called J Media One, and that's a guy that, excuse me, that's a guy that does comic collages. He puts together comic covers, old comics from the early 80s and 70s, and he makes collages out of them to the background, some background music. And that's a nostalgia trip for me, because I used to like comics when I was a child, when I was very young, and watching that brings back lots of nice memories. So that's something that you might enjoy. Try giving it a look. That's it for now. I don't want this video to run too long, and that's my video for today. Thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for more interesting stuff eventually.